quiet on the set, as we focus on this guy this time. It is the second figure that I have access to in the Transformers Studio Series line. It is another Voyager class figure. It is Starscream, and he's our focus in the latest GotBot True review. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host as always, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. Please like, comment, share, and of course, so important now, hit that subscribe button. Stay with us here. Plenty more to come down the pike. I am still working on Season 2 of Universal Collision, but I do get distracted when beautiful pieces of plastic like this come along. Of course, check me out everywhere. Have a look at Machinery of Man and the Everything Factor. This guy is fantastic. I've never really liked the design of the movie versus Starscream, but this guy takes the cake. There's almost nothing to complain about here. Okay, there's a couple of gripes, but he's a good size. The plastic feels of top-notch quality. Everything moves and pegs tremendously well. There's a ton of paint on the guy. He comes with a display base. I'm finding it really hard to find something not to like here. The articulation is even fantastic. Okay, maybe this little accessory is questionable. Even Starscream Girlfriend has an opinion about this guy. Stick around, we're going to cover everything when we head over to the table. For someone who's not a big collector of the movie figures, I gotta say I am absolutely smitten so far with the Studio Series, and this is Studio Series number 6, Starscream, another Voyager class figure. And if you thought that I liked Optimus Prime, then hold on to your hats because I think this is absolutely stellar. Absolutely stellar. Now again, this isn't mine. This belongs to friend of the channel, John. I appreciate him letting me take a look at it. By all means, check out his channel, East-Coast Music. I'll leave a link in the description. See what he's doing over there, but I do thank him for letting me take a look at this guy. We're going to take him off and spend a second just on the box because that's pretty cool. And yes, indeed, it is a box. We have Starscream's artwork here. It looks great. Again, product shots on the back and what else you can get. I don't know why we have an Autobot symbol over here again, but hey, whatever. This again is co-branded apparently between Hasbro and Takara, as we have both branding marks on the packaging. We can open this up, remove the clamshell that the guy came in, and the paper tie. I love these things. I wish that they would come back full force. And there is the stage that comes with Starscream. This is Starscream as he appeared apparently in the first movie. And I like the look of the stage. You can take Starscream and you can, assuming you can fit the guy in there because he's kind of wide. But, I mean, you can set him up in there. I'm sure you can find a more dynamic pose, but you get the idea. I dig this, and I think it certainly puts it in the realm of a collectible rather than just your run-of-the-mill toy. In a kind of weird and unfortunate turn of events, he comes with one accessory, this thing. I sort of wish he had two of them, and they can fit it in a couple of places. At the very tip here we have these two rectangular pieces. That allows it to sort of fit into his wrist. We also have a 5mm peg down here, and it can fit into a few locations on him in both modes. If you so wish, you can have the accessory underslung on this arm or this arm, as there's a small slot there, or you can turn his hand forward, turn his wrist forward, and flip it up. The entire thing comes up. Not just the hand, but you gotta flip the entire wrist up. And now you have slots on either side, and you can take those two rectangular notches and place it in there so that it looks like it's coming out of his hand. Now, how does he stack up with some other movie line figures? Well, here he is with my custom Age of Extinction, or Last Night Lockdown, if you will. What can I say? You see it right there. He is a fair-sized Voyager, fairly tall and certainly bulky. I looked at that lockdown in episode 335, if I'm not mistaken. Here he is with the gathering at the Nemesis, Megatron. And he is... Megatron wants to stand, which he doesn't always like to do. And he's actually bigger than that Voyager Megatron. Kind of a surprise to me. Obviously, they're from two different lines. And truth is, these aren't supposed to scale with each other. The idea is that the Studio Series scales with other Studio Series figures. And apparently there's even a size chart that they are attempting to closely follow. So I sort of respect that. Would it be nice if it would scale with older figures? Yeah, obviously, because people already have these in their collections. And perhaps this does scale nicely for you. I looked at that Megatron from episode 229. For the record, since this is supposed to be Starscream from the first movie, this is really the Megatron that he would be kind of designed to scale with. I don't know, maybe he was bigger. Maybe somebody out there can tell me if Starscream was actually bigger than Megatron. I don't know. I don't remember. Taking him out of it. And here he is with the Evasion Mode Optimus Prime, a mold that pretty much everybody knows. And he's, again, slightly taller than Optimus, as he's supposed to be. I know that he's supposed to be a little bit bigger than Optimus. And speaking of bigger than Optimus, here he is with his wave mate, Voyager class Optimus Prime. Yeah, he's a small Voyager, there's no doubt, but this is still a fantastic figure that I scored really well. And now we can grade Starscream as we always do. This beautiful disaster is, because I gotta be honest, this isn't what I think of when I think of Starscream. I'm a G1 guy, what can I say? But in terms of a movie Starscream, I think this is fantastic. He's bright, he has paint, really everywhere. Like, I think this is paint. I think that the gunmetal gray there is paint. I think the wheels are paint. If not, if they're plastic, then it's a good job. I think the wings are completely painted. The head has a lot of apps on it with the red eyes and the gold. And the plastic feels, the only way I can say it is, the plastic feels very robust to me. Like the plastic quality that we had in, I don't know, animated, Transformers Animated, in 2008, the Universe line. I feel it's robust like that. I feel like this guy's really solid. I don't know if there's more you could do. I'm sure the customizers could. I'm sure that I could if I was detail-oriented enough. But honestly, for what I think of when I think of movie Starscream, I'm going to give this thing a 10. I am. Some people might argue the point that, no, he's missing this, he's missing that, but I really don't know if much more could be done to make this guy perfect. And of course, maybe that 10 is just my personal taste. You know what, let's be fair, because there's always a little bit of room, I guess, for improvement. We're going to say it's a 9.75. I can't give it any lower than that because I think it is spot on. Articulation. I saw this and I thought to myself, this is not going to have good articulation. He's not going to stand well or anything. He stands fine. And the head, that can go left and right a little bit, like it's more of a wiggle, no real up or down. That's a bit of a shame. The shoulders, they can go all the way around. They can go out tremendously far. Nice elbow. We have, the shoulder hinge can come down, the shoulder hinge can go up, we have a bicep swivel, we have a extremely deep elbow because of a hinge here and here. We have wrist swivel, they can fold in and fold down, they can do all of that. We don't have a waist on the guy, but I can forgive it for everything that he does. The legs go well forward, they go well back. They go completely out. I mean, he can do the splits with the absolute best of them. We have a knee back. You know, I guess you can fold the leg back like that if you want, even though he has these kind of weird chicken leg things. The leg can fold forward like that. We have like a lower leg swivel. It's not really a thigh swivel. And I almost don't see how you could do a thigh swivel. The closest we have is a transformation hinge up here. That's more of a hip swivel, we'll say. More of like a hip swivel. I feel like you can do pretty much everything you want to do with the guy. Not quite everything, but you can certainly score some dynamic poses. Did we have room for improvement here? Sure. But I don't really see how they could have worked in a waist joint. It would have been nice if they could, but I just don't see how. The legs are effective for being these odd kind of chicken legs. I'm going to say his articulation, for what it is, for such a peculiar mold, I'm going to say it's a solid 8.75. So we have a 9.75 and 8.75. The guy's a 9.25. Pretty good going into his transformation. We can remove this off of his arm. And the other thing that shocks me with this is that it's unbelievable to me that this guy turns into a plane. Like, it looks like he wouldn't turn into anything. There's a side shot of him. The back cleans up nicely on him. Other side shot, I suppose. And the front again. I didn't think I would like a movie-inspired Starscream this much. So where do we begin for the transformation? Well, we'll start with the legs. We bring this piece down, I guess the knee piece down. We flip the toes all the way forward. Same here, knee piece down and toes all the way forward. Then we come to the back and we use those hips to bring these legs in together. You might even want to, at this point, you might even want to bring this down and start to bring the nose out a little bit. Just to get those hips in all the way. Get them in and peg them together. Then we're going to take these legs that are out and fold them up on the side here. And when we do, we have a little slot up here, and we have I guess on the top of the foot, we have a little rectangular peg. So that comes up on the side and pegs in. That comes up on the side and it also pegs in. Or it should, like that. We take the landing gear and we bring it down. The instructions tell you to do it later, but I don't see any reason why you can't do it now. We unpeg the backpack, and with the backpack you will notice that on this wing section you have a little rectangular slot, same over there. There are rectangular pegs on the wings that we'll see a bit later. So you unpeg that, don't bring it down all the way, just leave it for now. You can swing this piece down and swing this piece over here down as well, and that really kind of takes a lot of his chest away. You fold in that piece and then fold up the whole thing. You fold in that piece and fold up the whole thing, and that's what we have at the moment. You take the arms and bring them forward for now, because what we're going to be looking to do is get this wing piece down into position. But we need to know what we're doing with the arms. So fold the elbows all the way, or the shoulders all the way down. Fold the shoulders all the way down. Then you want to take the wrists and fold them in. When you do so, you need to fold them the right way. How do you know how to fold them? Well, you have a little rectangular slot on the palm. It goes up over a rectangular piece right there. A peg. That goes like that. And And over here, turn the wrist, and that goes like that. And we'll just leave them for now. We bring the front of the plane up, and as we bring the front of the plane up, the head goes in underneath. So we have what looks like an air brake, really, piece that we bring out here, and the head is very snug the way it fits underneath. So you want to kind of fit his neck piece underneath first, then start to flip this up, and then flip it all the way out. Then bring that down. It's a little bit delicate, but it moves smoothly as soon as you have that neck piece into proper position. Next, we want to bring that down and bring that down, and we have his arms sort of just flailing out underneath here. That'll never do. I mean, we can't have a plane like that, right? That'll never do. So we need to put the arms into position. You just orient them properly. Sorry about that, the phone rang, but here we are again. As I said, the arms need to go oriented properly. Really, you want this part to be facing up, and we have an open cavity section here. So the shoulder folds up there and the elbow folds down right there. And you fit it underneath, the shoulder folds up, the elbow folds down, and you have the arms now snugly fit underneath. Then you can fold up that piece and fold down this piece and fold out the landing gear. We're just about finished now. All we have left is really what was his backpack. And that's on a double hinge. You just bring it down. It's a bit of a tight hinge, but it will come down no problem. By the way, this peg and this peg, these are the two pegs that were I guess pegged into that slot and that slot. Angle this up, and now all we have to do is get these wings in position by pushing down and tabbing in, and then over here we push the wing piece down and we just tab it into position, and boom, in the end, there you have Starscream in his plane mode, and it looks fantastic. As for his accessory, well, you have options again. It can go slotted here or here. If for some reason you wanted that. It can go up under his wing. But now that throws off the symmetry since we only have one of these. The instructions say to come to the back and use these two pegs here. I had to find the pegs. Use these two pegs here, and we have a couple of slots on the top right there. And peg it on over and have it coming out the back like that. The transformation is super smooth. It's a 10. It's fantastic. Everything, every hinge on the guy moves nicely. All the tolerances are perfect. I couldn't ask for anything better. He was getting a 9.25. This is a 10. Again, he's easily a 9.75. Now, Optimus pretty much got the same score, but I like this one better because I think that the plastic feels more robust. And I think there's more paint apps on him. He's stunning. Starscream girlfriend checked him out as well and gave her stamp of approval for this guy, especially in plane mode. Except for this piece back here. She doesn't like the accessory storage. And I kinda can't blame her, but hey, you have to do something with it. This, however, is fantastic. I would venture to say it is the best toy version of Starscream that we have gotten yet. Arguably, but that would be my opinion and I am sticking to it. And see what I mean? This guy wins at every turn. So many paint apps, they look so crisp and fresh and clean. The articulation, granted no waist joint, that's a bit disappointing, but the way that everything moves and transforms here, I get it. I mean, even just having the cockpit of the plane coming down here, you couldn't really work a waist joint in there. The legs are peculiar, but effective nevertheless. And the transformation is one of the best that I think I've encountered in years. I absolutely love it. Everything moves so fluidly. And that's the best way I can explain it to you. Even Starscream girlfriend thought that the plane looked fantastic despite the little accessory in the back, which of course you can leave it off. I don't know how many of you like the movie Starscream or how many of you have previous entries, but I have to say, among all of them, I think this guy comes out as the champion. Anyway, let me know what you think about him. Did you like him? Did you not like him? As always, I'm going to say, hey, hit that subscribe button again. Stick around with us here. It is beyond appreciated. It makes all the difference in the world. Thanks for giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I know how important it is to you. And of course, I very much look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit right here inside the videos.